Time frame, images of a generation. We grew up in a simpler time. We sang.
Say, kids, what time is it? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
We laughed.
Hello, boy.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
We cried.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot.
We fought. We loved. We were attacked.
Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air.
Our flag was still there. Now these memories come to life on posters that can be yours today. Go to howdyboomy.com for your copies today. That's howdyboomy.com. howdyboomy.com.
Welcome to the Howdy Boomy Show. Hope you're having a great day today. I was able to watch some video of the Gay Pride Parade in New York City, which was a real debacle. I don't know how many gay people across the country found anything redeeming in value in that. And I think it probably set their movement, if that's what you want to call it, back, because it was taken over by hoodlums, thugs, faggots, whatever you want to call them. I remember in 1985, the Chicago Bears had a tremendous defense. And before the championship game up against the Los Angeles Rams, they were barking on the field, in a huddle and everything, and the Rams were unnerved by that. They couldn't believe that a bunch of men like that would be barking at each other like dogs. Well, there was a minister at this gay pride parade, and these faggots, to have a better word for it, surrounded him and started barking at him, right in his face, a dozen of them. Isn't that nice? Isn't that what you want to have a tag on your movement for, have idiots like this? So I don't know how the gay people feel about that. I don't know how the gay people feel about people going to a parade. And a lot of people go to a parade just because it's a parade. They don't care what it's for. They want to see the pageantry, the pomp, bands, whatever it is. And this parade had to be something, because you have cross-dressers, you had everything. Had naked men. Imagine that. Imagine you're taking your kid down there, and here comes a bunch of naked men marching in a parade. Try doing that down the street in your neighborhood and see where you end up. But that's what they had. And if the gay people think that this is a boon to them, they're badly mistaken. Don't force this down our throats. You want to legitimize yourself? You can't. All right? Act the way you act behind closed doors. Don't jam it down our throats. We don't have straight parades. We just act normally. You're not normal. I'm sorry, you're not. But everybody goes to a different drummer. Do what you're going to do behind closed doors. Act respectable. Act respectable of other people. It's a sad situation where you have a parade like that, and the movement's being taken over by thugs and idiots and faggots. And it's sorry, it's too bad, but that's what it is. To the gay people, get your act together, if you can get it together. Act responsibly. Act like a human being. Don't act like an animal. You'll never be legitimized acting like that. It's not normal. I'll live with it. But please, act normally, respectfully of other human beings on this planet. Well, the Biden boys are at it again. The sweetheart deal is coming to fruition, and more whistleblower information is coming out where the prosecutors were prohibited from bringing certain charges against Hunter Biden. Now, Joe Biden's been in office 50 years. He's made a lot of friends. People owe him. He's calling in his chips. He's elected, thanks to the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, the Chicago Tribune, all of the woke newspapers who hate this country, because he wasn't Donald Trump. People forget what this country was like in the years Donald Trump was president leading up to COVID. It was some of the best shape it's ever been in our lives. But he rubbed the people the wrong way. He's told the truth. He didn't speak like a politician. And now we see the deep state that he encountered, where the head of the FBI, the head of the CIA, they're lying. And now more and more is coming out, and Joe's just laughing at us. That's the worst part about it. He laughs at you. He's got to be worried. He's incompetent, and he hires incompetent people to take over key posts in the government. We have the Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas. There's a floodgate at the borders. Drugs, crime. Thank you. Department of Transportation, Buttigieg. He's clueless. A terrible, terrible transportation system. Department of Energy is making fortunes on stock trades. This is what he surrounds himself. He hires people. He puts people in positions that are dumber than him, if that's believable, because they'll owe him for the job. They would no longer get it otherwise. And he does it for image. Put a woman in there, even though she's incompetent. You can't yell at a woman. Better yet, put a black woman in there. Put a cross-dresser in there. Put something strange in there. He wants to kiss everybody's ass, and he's wind up ruining this country. It's just an amazing. I don't know what the Chinese think. And the scary part is, his backup is Kamala Harris. Imagine if Kamala Harris became president of the United States. There was a show on when I was a kid called Ding Dong School. She would be perfect on that show just to ring the bell. And I was wondering what the Chinese would think about her, or the Russians, or all our enemies. They would be smacking their lips, knowing that they were going to make tremendous gains worldwide because we had a giggler in chief. I wonder, could she giggle in Chinese or Russian? Incompetence, that's what we have running our country. Corrupt. Merrick Garland lies through his teeth. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if the Republicans stick to their guns and sooner or later the press comes around and actually asks some questions, because the press has to be feeling responsibility for some of the actions that's going on. This is an important year. It reminds me of 1967, the year before the big election of 1968. It was big to me because that was the first election I was able to vote in. I became 21. It was on the Vietnam War. Lyndon Johnson was president. He decided not to run, so it was Hubert Humphrey versus Richard Nixon. Vietnam was on the top of the list. Race riots in all the cities. It was just an imaginable time there, and that's what's happening now. We have to make some comparisons and see what happens in 1968 results, what happens in 2024. 1967, Gus Grissom and Etta White and I forgot the other astronauts' name were killed in a fire on the launching pad. High oxygen in the space capsule. There was ignition, a spark, and they were burned to death. Roger Chaffee, I believe it was. There was a 6-week war, 6-day war. Israel took over the Middle East in 6 days, which tells you something about the fighting capabilities of those on the Arab side. Ralph Nader wrote the book Unsafe at Any Speed. And a lot of people thought he was crazy, but we have seatbelts now, we have airbags now, we have safer cars now because of him. So a tip of the hat to Ralph Nader. A postage stamp was a nickel. Imagine that, a nickel. What, I don't even know. I have forever stamps. What are they, 65 cents, 70 cents? Howdy Boomy Show. Every day on the Howdy Boomy channel on YouTube. HowdyBoomy.com, a website. Boomer paraphernalia, memories, great gifts. Watch the Howdy Boomy Show every day on the YouTube channel Howdy Boomy. Let's make America great again. Don't make an idiot of yourself protesting or marching in a parade. Be proud of America. Be proud of what it stands for. God bless you. God bless America. Make sure you vote. Have a great day.